Man, you guys, welcome to another episode of Everything Uncovered. I am truly, truly excited, man. I have another Pasadena native with me. This young man, I have, heard stories about him, have witnessed him. You have seen him on a big screen TVs. He's played at big games all across the country in the SEC. But we're going to go into more deep dive into who this individual is, make sure that he tells his story and his perspective. And I'm truly excited for this, man. I have Elijah Blaze here, man. Elijah, welcome to the show.
Man, what's good, man? What's good, man?
Man,
All love.
let's hop into this, my guy. So, Elijah, of course, you're from Pasadena, right? And everybody upbringing in Pasadena is different, right? From Pasadena, a little older than you, so my upbringing is a little bit different from yours. Can you share how your upbringing was for you in Pasadena?
My upbringing in Pasadena was basically, I grew up with both parents in my life. Grew up moving from different places, finding time in Pasadena, but I grew up in a family football home, so I mean, I kind of been around football all my life. Grew up with a good living neighborhood, and just great people around me. My grandma, grandparents, uncles, cousins, everybody. So
Yeah.
it was good in Pasadena. So
At what point were you introduced to football? Because lately I've been running into people, they start their football career later. Pasadena's a little different. When did you get introduced to football though?
honestly, I say about 3, 4 years old. Just because I seen me and my big bro playing, and then my dad, my grandpa, everybody played in my family. So I seen it about 3, 4 years old, just football games growing up on the TV, everything, and then I actually started playing for tackle football at 6.
So I want to ask about that because there's a new thing and they're talking about this. I want to get your perspective on it. So in California, they were talking about not having tackle football at the youth level, right? It didn't pass or whatnot. What are your thoughts about kids playing tackle football so young and going forward? Do you think that would be an issue?
With us growing up, I mean, we didn't really have any problem with it. I mean, too many kids wasn't getting hurt around my time. It was just more so kids just out there having fun. So honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, unless it's a safety issue going on with kids right now. But in my opinion, I feel like it's a good thing for kids to go experience. But not all parents are going for it. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah. I see more kids and more parents in general. I understand it because I'm a parent, but also understand it as a trainer. If we're talking about football, which we know football is very short as far as a career, you know, for you to play professionally, you can play football from the time, like you said, 6 to you're 20, 26, right? But playing professional, you really have like a small window. So if you're talking about maximizing your body, because we only get one body, maximizing your body, I do understand at that point in age, our time, because you minimize the injuries, but at the same time, you can develop because regardless if you play flag football, because everybody's going to flag, right? Learning how to play football is still some physicality to it, even if you play flag football. Now, of
Yeah.
course, you're not worrying about getting hit and stuff like that, but you still got to block. You still got to understand your skill set and things like that. What do you think about that as far as that term, that way?
I mean, for me as I mean, I kind of look over a flag football team right now, and kids kind of aggressive. They wanna hit, they want to touch. Like so, it's like kids want to be kids at the end of the day. A lot of kids just want to just show some aggression type. So I mean, also with females too, they play flag football too. They want to get down, get dirty too sometimes too. So it honestly, I say it depends on the kid. So.
Got you, got you. So you attend Muir, and of course your dad, your family there attended Muir. Can you share? Because of course you're an athlete. What are you like 6'2", 6'3"?
6'2".
So you're this super athletic big kid in high school. Can you share? Because of course you did great things, and we'll get into the recruiting as far as how many people are coming at you. But can you share how was it for you in high school playing football at this time for you? What was it like playing around this time? Like, were you just learning? Were you just having fun? Were you like man, I'm trying to dominate. What was your thought process during this time?
I mean, honestly, you know, me just trying to dominate. I mean, I've been doing this since a kid. You know, I actually just talked to one of my coaches I haven't seen since I was a kid, and the first thing he said was, "I just remember you being a great kid and you being able to play both sides." And he said that was rare at that age. You know, and he said I just had a sense of IQ. And you talk to a lot of my coaches growing up, they'll tell you like Lay's got a lot of IQ, like high IQ, and it kind of came from playing quarterback growing up at a young age. So I kind of see the field a little bit different than a lot of people. But you know, for me in high school, it was to dominate, just to go to show that I'm one of the best in the country. Uh, I was battling against the top dudes in the country every week on a seven on seven basis, you know, and going out there dominating. So I was out there showing my potential, and then on the other side, you know, playing for Muir, you know, it was a little bit different. Wasn't on a real stacked team, so I was kind of out there with just another player. So you know, we was trying to just make things work. But at the end of the day, it was gonna be what it is, you know, because we didn't go to a big school, but we're just trying to dominate and go put on, gonna help us win. But that was pretty much it for me, and just showcase that I can be one of those guys in the nation. So you know.
Sure. I kind of want to stay going to Mirror because I think that's a big thing. We're from Pasadena, and if you look back on the history, we have a lot of talent in Pasadena themselves, but they don't necessarily stay in Pasadena. They go to private schools in different areas, and they build it up, and they do great things, win championships or whatnot. How important is it, or do you think it's important for the kids or the talent to stay here in Pasadena, or does Pasadena need to change some things for the to attract the kids to stay in Pasadena?
I mean, honestly, if you ask me, I have mixed emotions over the years about it, but now how I see it, I mean, you got to get it how you want to get it. So, I mean, if you want to go out of Pasadena and go get it, and you can go get it some way, go do that. But if you want to come back and show love to the city, you can also do that too. I mean, I don't. It's no pressure on it for me. I mean, I feel like a lot of kids that come home and showcase our talent, we could get boosted up in the ranks of division. We'll definitely be something back to mere old days. But it's no problem with going out to private schools and somewhere else and going to go get it. I mean, everybody want to play. If everybody come back to Pasadena, that's also a talk we had too. You know, so.
Yeah. No, I definitely we share it all the time. Like, what if we only had one school? I said it wouldn't be fair because there's a lot of people who wouldn't play. And that's why when I played, that's why you did have guys go to different schools out of the area because they wanted to play. And we was just so deep, rather if it was at PHS or Mirror, it wouldn't matter. And it just wasn't, it wouldn't be enough people, or there's only one ball at the end of the day. So regardless how you see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, bro, so senior year, I know junior, senior year, the recruiting process is ongoing. But can you share your recruiting process because you was highly sought out coming out of high school? How was that for you?
For me, honestly, I say I really first started getting recruiting my sophomore year, and it was our first playoff game versus Cathedral. You know, Clay Helton was a coach at SC at the time, and we had Tayon Mason.
Yeah.
He was committed to SC, so they came to our playoff game, and I was starting, you know, as a sophomore, and I think I had about 6, 7 catches, all defended, no catches on me, and that's when I really started getting looked at by SC a little bit, and then but I didn't have the grades, so you know, I had to wait another year, junior year, and that's when kind of everything picked up. Went to a camp, ran a 4.42. Just killed my junior year, offense and defense, and then senior year I just went crazy. Honestly, on both sides of the ball, I just took a little determination. You know, wanted to go win more. So I mean, then I was getting recruited by I had think about had about 17, 18 offers. I was committed to Florida. That was my dream school. I always said I would go there, you know. So once I got that offer, I committed. And yeah, came down to signing day. I was at the I was at the USA game. I had a visit for Nebraska the next week. You know, just weighing my options. It was out of those two.
Mhm.
And it came down to the decision between me and my dad. It was a heated discussion. And I ended up, you know, picking Nebraska on a heated discussion, you know, when it was a motion thing when I should have stayed committed to Florida. But
Mhm.
I was a kid, you know, people grow up, things happen. And, you know, that's why I went that route. So went to Nebraska. Didn't make the grades. I could have, but I decided to go. Could have took a summer class to get to Nebraska that year, but decided to go junior college because that wasn't the pick that I was supposed to go to, you know. But that was my high school career.
Wait, so Dante was at Nebraska, right? Recruiting you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Dante coached me at Mount Sac, so I know Dante.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, Dante was showing love. Yeah, definitely showing love.
Yeah, so Ken, can you share a little bit because I actually my last guest, we was actually talking about that. He talked about how it's so much pressure on us as kids being recruited out of high school. You know, people pulling, people saying this and that, and you know, having multiple offers, and then your parents having like they guiding you, but ultimately it's your decision on what you're going to
Yeah.
do. Can you share just a little bit about that time for you? Was it like a lot of overwhelming for you?
I mean, yeah, at the time, you know, man, for me it was a little different. I was getting recruited by a lot of people, you know, and promises everywhere, you know. Everybody just, you know, you 6'3", run 4'4", you gonna come play right away. Pretty much from a lot of everybody that offered me. Washington State offered me as a two-way out of high school. So, you know, it was kind of big on me. And then just pressure, you know, parents, you might not see eye to eye for everything during recruiting as a young person. So that, I mean, that's what it was for me. Just didn't see eye to eye with my parents. Just, you know, kids being kids, you know, you don't see everything the right way. You might not take everything the right way. So
No, for sure, for sure. So you end up going JUCO, and I attended JUCO, so I understand that JUCO life. But you actually did something different because Cali is known for JUCOs. Like most people, if they're
it's
out of state, they come to Cali for JUCO.
yeah,
You go out of state, you actually end up going to Arizona
yeah.
for JUCO. What was that decision to go out there?
Uh, they was what, number 2 in the nation, in the NJAAC. So, and I, you know, I just had those offers from the big time schools. I was trying to play big time ball, so that was the biggest junior college ball. And
Gotcha.
I think they went to the national championship the year before, and it was close to home. So
Gotcha.
I was honestly trying to go to East Miss, but I seen them. I'm like, nah, we a little bit closer to home. So I
Wait.
would go.
So Mel Sack never tried to recruit you to come?
I mean, a lot of California JUCOs did, but I wasn't trying to stay home. You know, going with the grades and everything. I was trying to get away from home. That was my main thing. So
Nah, I definitely feel that. So obviously you're balling, but you know, people don't understand JUCO. It can be a lot of pitfalls there. Especially, you know guys, I know guys who they had the talent, they should be somewhere, but life just happened.
yeah.
What pitfalls that you see that you avoided when you while in JUCO?
Man, for me, I had to learn the hard way. You know, high school is my grades, so that was for me, just grades. And you know, people go to junior college and they still messing up their grades. So it's like I done seen people go be in junior college 4 or 5 years, and you know, it only take about a year and a half too if you're really doing what you need to do.
Yeah,
So I say that, and just, you know, hang around the wrong crowds. You know, it's a lot of negative crowds in junior college. Worrying about the next man, you know, how other people getting offered this and that, how people good, and you know, it's a lot of negativity in junior college that you got to stay away from and just stay hungry,
yeah.
because you know, stay hungry. Your time gonna come if you putting the work in. So a lot of people just think it's gonna come to them in junior college, you know. So
Nah, they don't care. It's like starting all over again at the bottom of the totem pole, and you got to work your way up to the top again.
yeah,
So you did 2 years there at Arizona?
yeah, I did 2 years.
Okay, so you become the fourth ranked JUCO player, which is extremely hard. You know, that's a very very that speaks testament to you and your body of work, what you did there. So now everybody's starting to come back out the woodwork. You know, you got your grades and everything right at this point in time. I'm assuming because now you're able to transfer out. So, what was different this time around for you mentally, and then as far as what did you want to do for this recruiting process again?
For me is, I seen a lot of cats from California out there playing as a freshman in college while I'm in junior college, so I kind of look at that as I put my head down like I need to be me.
Yeah.
Like that's something I should have been doing my freshman year. So for me, it was just just trying to get out and just putting the work in, man. It was just I've been through a lot in my career, so just trying to stay afloat, just trying to be what I can be,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it to it.
Was it the same schools that came to you earlier in high school that recruited you again, or was it?
Uh, some, but majority, I had all my offers were all SEC.
Gotcha.
No Big Ten, no Pac-12, uh, no anybody else. But I had every offer from the SEC. One offer from Oregon, and that was because Dante was there. My coach kind of declined everybody from else that wasn't from the SEC because he told everybody that I'm an SEC guy. So
Yeah.
I didn't get any offer but the SEC. Dante, he recruited me out of high school. That was my guy. So
Yeah.
he still took a chance. And, I was committed to I was silently committed to LSU, going to be on that 2019 team. So I was talking to Coach Raymond, Greedy, all them boys, and I was really about to go there. And then so I was about to transfer to Fullerton. So if you transfer in junior college, you can't go SEC. So that's what I was going to do. So I ended up decommitting from LSU in the summer. That's when I committed to Oregon because I was about to go to Fullerton for
Mhm.
junior college and, stayed committed for Oregon with Oregon while that time when I went back to Arizona Western and school is still on me. But this time around was a little bit different. Man, it was a lot of money involved uh under the table, that we can't talk about.
Mhm.
So, being a heavily recruited like that, it's a little bit different. So it was haywire in junior college for me. Some things that I shouldn't have seen, but so just stayed afloat. And Bama, I got offered by Bama, Texas, LSU, everybody. So then I ended up committing to Texas A&M for my last commitment. So
Yeah, so I want to, and we'll get into NIL, but I don't understand people. I think people who watch football, they don't truly understand football. Like they don't understand getting a offer, what that is. They don't understand signing that letter of intent. They don't understand like the business side of football. Because as fans, it's just you're my team. Oh, we recruited you. We're happy you're here. As players, we're still trying to figure it out, and everybody figure it out is different. Like if you are a high tier athlete or you a guy, then you got certain leverage. If you're not so much, you don't have as much leverage. Um, can you share just a little bit of the business that you saw just in that time and moment coming out of JUCO?
yeah, bro. I put it like this. One school, high school, you don't commit to a school, it's okay. It's that it is what it is. We'll go find somebody else. But when you a higher recruit, it's a little bit different. The coach got fired because I didn't commit on one of the official visits, like next day, next week.
Yeah.
So it goes into a lot of family, man. College recruiting is deep. I just put it like that, especially for the bigger recruits. Everybody, wants you. So everybody gonna throw their pitch to you. Everybody gonna throw their side stuff to you, So
Nah, I so I was talking to a coach. He's been coach of the year a couple of times based off recruiting. And I found this out. And so coaches, if they recruit a certain amount of certain stars, they get bonuses. So people don't understand this business side of it. Like this is in their contract. If you bring a certain amount of star guys to their school, you get a bonus. So of course, these coaches, for the most part, are going to say anything, promise you anything to get you up there. Now, if it actually happens, that's to be seen. Or does a kid get all of it? Not necessarily. Uh,
yeah.
as we saw the UNLV situation with the quarterback, which I think happens more often. I think he's just the first to really step up and say
Yeah.
something about it. So, bro, so you said you went to Texas A&M. Out of all the recruits, because you could have went to anywhere in SEC, and you mentioned that you wanted to go to Florida. But what made you go to Texas A&M though?
What made me go to A&M, I always wanted to play SEC. I mean, I grew up watching SEC ball as a kid. I mean, honestly, I never really watched Pac-12 or Big Ten ball. Like that was just a standard, seeing Florida win at 26 2008.
Yeah,
So it was like, I seen them in the SEC ball, LSU, Bama. So
yeah.
that's where I kind of really wanted to play. And then I was committed to Oregon. Uh, and that was just kind of their pitch, just come play SEC ball, and that's where I really wanted to be.
So what was your initial because of course you already been out of state, you went to Arizona, but now you on the other side really. You
Yeah.
by yourself, not necessarily family so close. What was your initial thoughts stepping on campus? And when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about your recruit, I'm talking about like I'm officially a student athlete at Texas A&M. What was your thoughts when you first stepped on campus?
I had, back in the time, Coach D. Rule, for the ones that know, he was heavily impacted with me, by my side during that time around when he was around football a lot more. So I stay with his word by his side. Go get it. Go show them that you them. You belong there. From Pasadena, we're a little different breed, so we made to be here. So his main objective to me was go get that spot. Go
Yeah.
show them why you're here. So I mean, that's why I went to go play. So go play in the SEC. So that was really honestly, yeah, my saying. So.
For sure. Can you share how now because you got a taste of JUCO college. And JUCO University is a little different just because there's more structure as far as what you have to do at the university level. Can you share how you balance life on and off the field? Because now you got classes, you got to work out, you got scheduled workouts, you got to go to practice, you got to study hall, all these things. How were you able to balance all of that?
For me, I didn't do too much. Like off the field, I didn't do too much. I'm pretty much at home. I'm not the guy that really party too much. I
Yeah.
might go out here and there, but I'm not one of those who gonna party. Not like rarely. You gonna see Blaze out rarely. That's what they're gonna see. Like Blaze, you out? That's rare. So I'm one of those dudes. I'm be at home.
Uh-huh.
Probably cooking or something because I stayed by myself at Florida and A&M. So I stayed by myself, cooking at home, playing the game, mostly online, just playing the game, just doing the little things. And I started reading like COVID year, that was my second year at A&M. So I started reading some on the side, just doing me, just talking to family at home. And that was it, just staying out the way. I didn't really do too much.
Nah, for sure. How I know you didn't go out so much, but when you did, how was it to be out in the community? Because now, we're in Texas, and Texas is a little different from California. Anywhere you go, it's just the nuance of things are a little different. How was that for you just seeing that, and what was your perspective with that?
Texas A&M, being at Texas A&M was different, cowboy boots, it's more western type city. So everything cowboy type, So it was a lot more different for me. So I was kind of starstruck, not starstruck. It was everything was different. For me just seeing that in a different route. We from California, we don't see too much that. Just being open plains everywhere. Grass, green. We in California, we house by house. You don't really got too much of land like them. So I mean, it was a little bit different. I mean, but I adjusted though. But especially you go out with the Texas A&M gear, people show you love in the community. It's way more different than being home, than being out there in your community. That ask you who you are, what your name is, probably take a picture with you, sign an autograph. It's all love.
Yeah,
So.
that's what's up. Did you ever have your family come out and visit you when you was in Texas A&M or Florida or anywhere?
Yeah, they came to Texas A&M. They came to my first game. Yeah, and then they came when we played in Dallas versus Arkansas. Also, they came in versus and we played in Buffalo also too.
Got you. So what was their experience when they came out like for them?
It was two different experiences, Texas A&M, Buffalo, A&M. You know, it's 100K. You got 100K in the stadium. You know, it's wild roaring. You know, my mom. You know, my parents ain't never seen nothing like that. You know, they come to the game with my jersey on, and they, you know, they proud. You know, they proud of their son. They see him doing what he want to do in life. You know, so you know, Buffalo. You know, it's cold. You know, it's way a little bit colder out there. So, I brought them to one of the cold games. They in there bundled up, you know, but they see me doing what I could do. They still enjoy me playing football. You know, they come out there to support. Just to have them see different sides of the states. You know, my
Yeah.
people don't really travel, so I kind of gave them a little traveling experience through recruiting and football. You know, life. So, but honestly, that was good for me just to let them see the kind of states. You know.
Yeah, no, no, that's awesome. So I went to school in Tennessee. So of course, my parents they come out, and of course, this is not a place we would normally go to when we go visit, and my parents they travel. But it was a blessing. My cousin came out to my graduation. Now my cousin he bangs and whatnot. So it was awesome for him. We went out, and of course, Tennessee is like country. So cowboy boots, like you just said, everything like that. We went out. And my cousin said, Ness, this is how it is, like every day. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you telling me I don't have to look over my shoulder? I'm like, bro, nobody's trying to do anything. Like this is literally how it is. But it's crazy though. It was crazy. Never came in that never went through my thought process. The environment that you're in though can make you feel like everything is like this, like everywhere
Yeah.
like this, like survival mode. Like I gotta be on my P's and Q's. And it was just awesome to see my cousin like realize like, bro, like I can really have a good time and not worry about nothing. And that's what I love the most was for him and my family to see something different that they normally wouldn't see any other time, like a whole different exposure, which now it brings like, oh, I can be myself. I don't need to be this person that my environment is telling me. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, because I mean, for me, I was coming back home. You know, in college, I stayed on GP. You know, for the people that don't really know GP, like one of those streets. You know, a lot of gang banging went on. It was back in the old days. You know, and I stayed right there. You know, I'd have been through a lot of experience. Like the day before I went to A&M, almost got shot outside my crib. You know, just pulling up at 12 at midnight,
Oh,
and I'm hopping out the car, and it was three dudes, you know, at the corner. They see me hop out, and they put up their guns, and I just, you know, get in my boy car. I tell him skirt off, and we skirt off before they even do anything. As far as, you know, staying at A&M, you know, it was none of that going on. So, you know, I'm going home peaceful. I'm going home to I got to open my own gate up, you know, with my
exactly.
keys. So I'm living great, you know.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I think, and I say for guys that's from Pasadena, I said, get out so you can experience something different. Because first of all, you find out more about yourself. And then you also get to expand whatever your thought process was of what you've been through in life, your experiences. You realize like that my box is much greater than that. I was very fortunate. I went overseas. I went to Rome. I went to St. Thomas. So I saw how people are living, and that gave
Yep.
me a different perspective of how, like, no, it don't need to be like this. I don't need to dress like this. I can dress how I can be and still be myself. And I share to the young people, man, if you have an opportunity to go somewhere, please do it. So you can just experience it for yourself, and you'll see it definitely will change you. So, bro, you end up like you said playing in the SEC, and I played Tennessee and whatnot. I played them in Tennessee, so this Tennessee wasn't good though when we played them. So it was loud, but it wasn't like how the capacity of the whole stadium being
Yep.
full. Can you explain just how was it playing at Texas A&M? Because they have one of the loudest and largest stadiums in college football. At the same time, how was it playing in the SEC every week, that competition?
I got you. Well, playing at Cal Field at Texas A&M, you know, it was electric. Man, every game. Remember we played the Bama game. It just sold out. I mean, it had broke the record, and we just sitting on the stands. I mean, on the sideline. You know, it was real loud, man. You can't hear nothing. You know, you on the sideline. When offense up, we trying to talk to our boys on the sideline. You barely hear him. In the
Uh,
game, you really can't hear nothing. So it's like you gotta know your calls, you gotta know your texts. I mean, man, it was fun out there. Playing in 100K, playing in front of 100K is different, man. Not a lot of people get to do that. Not a lot of people get to see it. I mean, I had my family see it, my one of my boys see it, you know. So and they just said that was one of the best games they ever seen, you know.
yeah.
Just a different atmosphere, you know. It's live. It's a lot of competition out there. Everybody want to go get it, you
Mhm.
know. So it's a big ball, and then you know, playing in the SEC every week, it's competition every week. You know, for me back in 2019 when I was out there starting, I had some of the best receivers to guard every week. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I played Bama when they had that whole stack team. You know, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, forgot Jalen Waddle. You know, they had everybody. So it's like you going up to the line, you might get one dude, you might get the next dude, you might get the next dude. So it's like I played in front of a lot of competition, man. We played LSU that 2019 team. We played Georgia that year. I mean, it's stacked. I mean, it's really competition everywhere. I mean, every year. I mean, every year, honestly, and every week. So, I
No.
mean, it's firepower. You got to go win. I mean, I feel like it's built different in the SEC. Just
Yeah.
playing, you know.
No, I truly agree. And since I'm a West Coast guy, I'm a Pac-12. This is before they even got to the Pac-12. They used to be the Pac-10. And I went to school with a lot of guys from Florida, from Georgia, and everybody talk about the SEC. And I always had respect for the SEC, but I was like, man, if you look out the way that SEC plays, and this is prior to them now, they air the ball out. Prior to this, when I played, every SEC team ran the ball. Like that's what the SEC was all about. And I still believe there was athletes. I just didn't believe they necessarily showed the capacity of what they do. Like you said, all those receivers, that's when they start getting quarterbacks and start really throwing the ball. When I was in college, everybody had a running back and they had the O line. When we played Tennessee, now mind you, I played against Minnesota. They had the largest O line when I was there.
Yeah,
So, but we played against Tennessee. Everybody on the O line, D line was huge. They skill players. Now, like I said, this is not their skill players. They had one or two guys, but it wasn't like, oh man, I gotta fear this dude. It was
yeah,
like this is my thought. There's football players everywhere across the
yeah.
world, everywhere. Like a skill player, you can find a skill player in Ohio, Pennsylvania, whatever it is. Skill player, and this is just playing professional as well. You never judge. They can be white, Armenian.
Facts,
O-line, though, that's where you win your games. Like
facts.
that's why the SEC they win because if a dude get hurt, they got another dude who's just as big as him or bigger than him that can come in. He may not be better than him, but he just got the size. And when they talk about the SEC, I'm like, man, y'all got to understand the SEC. Don't get me wrong, they got the best athletes. Okay, they have the better linemen across the board though. That's what separates other teams because when we play Tennessee, they try to run the ball against us. They didn't even
Yeah,
have 100 yards on us. But as our offense, we couldn't do anything because we couldn't run the ball. They was
yeah.
restricting us. So that's why I asked about the competition. And with my teammates today, still to this day, we get in arguments about the SEC. Don't get me wrong. I think the SEC athletically, man, everybody's a baller. Don't get me wrong. But when we talk about what truly separates it, it's really the offensive line and D line. That is
Nah,
the
facts.
foundation with anything in sports. If I went to Middle Tennessee, if we had just three guys like that, we can do half of what they did. It'd be
Yeah.
all. What are your thoughts about that? Me saying that.
I mean, yeah, I definitely get you on that, you know, because I mean, when you say that, I mean, I did play with the best D line I ever played with was in the SEC. You know, them boys about 6'5", 6'6", 300, 270, and they all speed rushers, you know, just getting back there. They just taking dudes by the neck, you know. I play with some real dudes that's in the league right now that's balling, you know, a couple pro bowlers and stuff like that. But so yeah, I do say that is a difference, you know, even playing at Buffalo, we played a couple schools that won the SEC, and you know, I didn't look at the line and stuff as, you know, the SEC. I kind of looked at it a little bit different. You know, just playing in both different conferences. I seen like it was the production of the O line and probably the front seven. I
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Because I played against some receivers and in the Sun Belt, or not some, yeah, they're in Sun Belt. They got drafted high. We had a dude from Troy. He got drafted in third round to the Giants. We had another dude that another receiver that got drafted. So and it wasn't there's no takeaway, no knock for no SEC, but I'm like, these dudes was good. T.Y. Hilton. He played at FIU. Now we had to line up against T.Y. Hilton as well. This dude had a long career in the NFL for the
Yeah,
Colts. So and he played for the Cowboys. So it's not like these guys like if you're a guy, it don't matter where you're gonna be at. But I think you're showcase your ability more in the SEC because the opportunity of that stage and being
yeah.
on all the time. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cause I just played against that boy from the Eagles right now, Quinn Mitchell or something like that. I
yeah,
played against him at Buffalo. You know, he wasn't at a big school, but he was strapping up. So it was
exactly,
like we looked at him as one of those dudes that was very good out of those conferences. So he ended up going first round. So you know, ballers come from everywhere. That's something I do know.
exactly. So you end up getting hurt, bro. Now I don't know if this was like a serious, a major injury for you, but what was going through your mind while you was out though?
I had a shoulder injury. So basically, I played the whole 2019 season with a torn labrum.
Mm,
A lot of those games, I popped out. You know, I'm getting shot up just to come back in the game, or I'm getting wrapped up just to come back in the game.
mm,
So you know, it was about like the 10th game of the season. I hit the running back from South Carolina, popped out. I just told him like, nah, I can't do it no more this season. He popped out so many times.
mhm,
So I took off that 2020 season. You know, I was gonna come back, but that was COVID, so
mhm.
we didn't have a spring. You know, so it was a little bit different. I'm back at home rehabbing, and I didn't have the best rehab than that I would if I was at A&M.
Sure.
So came back that fall camp. Um, it's 50% on my shoulder. You know, I got it tested, so I decided to take that year off. You know, Jimbo and the staff, they wanted me to stay close to the team. You know, but in my eyes, I didn't see it like that. You know, I was thinking a little bit different. I was thinking they were still gonna try to throw me in. You know, because I was one of the best corners. You know, and I just started last year, so I looked at that as like a health issue. So
Yeah,
I just told them that I'd rather opt out. So it was never over COVID or nothing like that.
gotcha.
And so took it out for that. Came back the end of that season. I was still 70%, you know. They wanted me to actually play a little bit. That's when we went 10-1 too, actually. So I told them that I still don't feel comfortable. I miss ball. I'm not
Yeah.
sitting at home, you know, not doing nothing, you know, watching them boys play. You know, I should think, I should be out there. So I go out there, just tell them I want to play scout team. Just throw me on scout team receiver. I go out there. You know, it was one game where they actually kind of needed me, but I told them, the coach, that I can't do it. For me, I mean, for the team also, it's not even against y'all. You know, it's a health issue. I'm not 100%. So it took that year, and in 2021, man, I was in the best shape of my life. Going into that spring, you know, I was trying to be a captain, and was top five in the sprints every sprint, you know, killing the workouts. I had the most picks in spring ball, you know, and I only practiced about 4 days. Ended with the most picks out of spring ball. Dropped a couple too, you know, and got injured by what was it? My hamstring. So I was out that whole 6 months, whole 5, 6 months. And that was that. So I've been having a couple injuries and through college, you know, and just so having to luckily get out of that now, you know, in pro, which I wanted to. So
Nah, for sure. Can you explain because I've never was hurt, got injured in high school, but in college, thank God I never was injured. But a professional, I broke my collarbone, I tore my ACL. But people don't understand the mindset you got to have to recover. Rather if it's a hamstring, I've had multiple hamstring injuries. Can you share like the mindset that you gotta get yourself into in order to come back and produce back at the level at which you were playing before?
I mean, you got to keep going. Just keep going with it. Honestly, I say do a lot of studying. You know, study the greats. You know, the greats have been hurt too. Basketball, football, wherever you look up to, everybody gonna get hurt at a time. You know, and just stick with it. You know, trust the process, the rehab process. Facilitate your mind. You know, stick with it. You know, have a good spirit around it. Never think negative. You know, because that's when you think negative, that's where everything downhill start going haywire. More things start coming out the woodworks you don't want to, you know. So I say honestly, just stay positive with it. You know, yeah, you're gonna get back to yourself at some point. Just don't stay down. That's what I say with that.
No, for sure. So you end up transferring to Florida, bro. What made you make that decision now? Like you always wanted to go, but what made you now make that transition?
It was out of Florida and Michigan. Uh, Michigan actually went to the playoffs that year also too, and you know, I was at A&M. You know, I was a high recruit to A&M, and then I just recently bought at Texas A&M, but took a year off. You know, just because I was hurt.
Mhm.
So, man, teams was coming. You know, and my top two was Michigan and Florida. If I didn't go to Florida, I was gonna go to Michigan that year. And honestly, uh, just to be real, I don't know why I went to Florida. Um, Probably just on some keep real, some kid shit, you
Uh-huh.
know? Just like I always wanted to play there, you know, and I got a chance to do it, why not? You
Yeah.
know, my official visit, man, man, I didn't even get to really like interact with the corner coach, you know. They kept me away from the corner coach.
Hmm.
Cause you know, they kind of said our personality wouldn't match. And that something was a red flag to me, you know. But at the same time, I got Kyrie Elam in the room, you know. He going first round, you know. So and I was cool with him. So I was on some. I might, man, you know. I'm gonna just trust it, you know. So yeah, and that's kind of around the reason why I went to Florida. I mean, when things go back on it, honestly, should have never even transferred out of Texas A&M. But if I did, I would have should have just went to Michigan. Kind of, you know, it was just kind of it was a bad time at Florida. You know, there was a lot of things going on, a lot of new faces, you know, and I wasn't in the right mind. Also, you know, I was coming off an injury. While I was in Florida too, you know, I had a torn hamstring,
Hmm.
and they didn't know. Never got checked. So, you know, I'm out there trying to play and I'm getting hurt down there every other 2, 3 days. So,
Yeah.
and they kind of thought I was bullshit, you know, because I'm coming at the start. I'm a fifth year, you know, and I'm out here hurt. So things got a little tussle with me and them, and that was really it.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you share what made you like you said you shouldn't have left A&M if you looking back at it? What made you think like, man, it's time for me to move on?
Uh, when I honestly when I got hurt, you know, like I said, I was doing everything right, you know, being on time, doing everything that they asked me to do. For that little moment, I was doing everything right.
Yeah.
And you know, going everything. And we was going to weights, you know. I'm not gonna say no names, you know, I'm not one of those dudes, but we had just finished 300s, you know.
Hmm.
Everybody running 300s, then we got weights right after. So we had our break, call up our break, then we got to run to the weight room. The weight room by like 50, 75 yards away. So everybody jogging to the weight room, you know. I'm jogging, I hear a pop, hamstring pop. You know, I don't know what it is, you know. And they get to the weight room, I'm limping, I can't even move, you know. So I tell the coaches, like, they see me looking, I'm like, come here, you know, they far. I'm like, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Close the door on me. And, you know, we preach family at A&M. So it's like, that wasn't family to me. You know, you close the doors on a dude, been starting here, you know, I'm doing everything right. So that kind of switched my gears, you know. That's why I say control your emotions.
Hmm.
Um, so I went in there, you know, I kind of looked at that wrong, and then they seen me lipping. They told me go to the trainers, you know, torn hamstring, and I just kind of went to Jimbo, and honestly, it was that, you know, I kind of just told him like, Coach, it's not even nothing towards y'all, and it just I got some, you know, I don't feel like it's family here. Y'all left me hanging. You know, I got a torn hamstring, and y'all just left me out there. Y'all ain't even try to see what's going on. And that was just kind of really it, you know. I didn't have any problems with no coaches there or none. You know, they was playing me, so it was nothing more than that. You know, just that side of the part. So
Got you, got you. No, I definitely understand. I understand. So looking back at it, you just feel at that time like you should have let it cool down for you to really think of it, like think differently of it, or do you think like no, I was thinking right. I just didn't make I made the decision too fast though.
I was thinking right. I made the decision a little bit too fast. I could have waited. I could have weighed out my options, because when I went to go talk to Jimbo, he just kept it real with me and on some honest stuff. He like, Blaze, you a baller. You one of the best. You one of the best corners I done coached. One athletically wise and cover wise. He said we just throw you out and you gonna cover.
Yeah.
He said you say you're a pro level athlete, and he was asking just why I just wanted to leave and just what was my reason. And I just kept it real with him on that, but things happen. He wanted me to stay.
Yeah.
Jimbo never wanted me to leave. So it was one of those. He was actually, kind of mad, having that one-on-one meeting with him and you tell him you leaving and he don't want you to leave, it's a little bit different, I ain't even feel right, just telling him I'm trying to leave, because I could tell he wanted me to come ball for him. So that was really that.
Yeah. So you shared your overall experience at Florida as well. It wasn't a good situation. They had a lot of moving parts. You was there for the 1 year, correct? Was it the full year?
Yeah, I was there. No, I wasn't there for you. I was there for about 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
then after that, you transferred to Buffalo, which is out of the SEC. So this is the first time, you're out of the SEC. What led you to going to Buffalo?
Honestly, when I came out of Buffalo, man, I had that write up on me on Florida. Went bashing on me. Before that, I don't even know me, never even met me, never even stood next to me, have a convo with me. Just going in on my name. Blaze won't be nothing. Just a lot of went a lot of negative on me. That I was like, that's crazy. You don't even know me.
Yeah,
So, a lot of people stayed away from me after that Florida, So and Buffalo, my coach from Texas A&M, he ended up getting the head coach position at Buffalo. And Oregon, I say Achilles Smith, Oregon old coach, he had hit me up out of Florida, He he knew what was going on with me at Florida. He understood, he talked to a couple of people, so he knew what was going on with me. So he wanted me to come to Oregon. So his pitch was me. He basically gonna let everybody know what was going on. He gonna give me Oregon on scholarship if I wanted it.
yeah.
And that was the time Coach Meat was at Oregon, and so I had that Buffalo offer, and if I wanted to go to Oregon, he was gonna try to work his magic. So, but honestly, I didn't know Coach Meat,
Yeah.
so Coach Meat never really recruited me
Mhm.
like for real, for real. So, I kind of went with Coach Mo. Just Buffalo was out of sense.
Nah, you got to go with relationships wise because honestly, football is a relationship based business at the end of the day. So, regardless of how talented you are, if your coach don't gel with you, most likely it's going to affect your playing time or they're going to do something to you.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's crazy how much power that these coaches have. Well, it's starting to be eliminated now with this NIL. But I want you to share now how is Buffalo playing wise because we already talked about how the SEC is, but how was Buffalo for you playing against these guys? Because I'm pretty sure you like, oh, I'm shocked. Like they actually got some guys who can play, as you mentioned, Mitchell who got drafted. How was that experience for you though?
for me wise, I'm gonna be totally honest. It was kind of slow for me. Yeah, not to take away from the Mac or none, but it was like for the offensive side for me, yeah, it was kind of slow. I mean, it wasn't really nothing too crazy for me or nothing like yeah, I mean, yeah, I just keep it like that. But like but it was just certain dudes out there in the Mac that stand out. But like to me, no, it wasn't really nothing crazy. Like honestly.
No, no, I definitely feel you on that. I definitely understand. So we all got to go through this as collegiate athletes. As far as the final whistle is blown, right? Your collegiate career is done. What is going through your mind though once that final whistle of y'all final game?
Man, I just had a lot of like man, I just said thank you. You feel me? In my head, just looking at my last game and how it came because my last game I got hurt, so and I knew it was the end of my my career after that, it was like the ninth game I had a hamstring. So, just looking on the fields, like it's a lot of progress I'd have made throughout life and throughout the years. So for me, it was honestly I done did something I wanted to do, it's something that as a kid I wanted to play college football and I done did it. I'd inspired a lot of people, have my people see a lot of things, a lot of different states. So for me, it was kind of a joy, kind of let's get into this next chapter of life, whether it's football or something else, but the goal is still football. That's what I've been doing it for. But yeah, it wasn't nothing too much for that. I was just thankful, for the friendships that I had, in college I still got, and just people I met, things I done did, get a degree, all that type of stuff. So
Nah, for sure. That's real. So we know we talked about the transfer portal just a little bit, but I want to get your take on the transfer portal and the NIL. What are your thoughts about how this is playing out? Because transfer portal, it was fairly new when you were still in college. Now it's starting to develop a little more. We're learning about this NIL. What are your thoughts about all of it?
I feel like it's good for the athletes to get paid now. A lot of athletes was, just hanging in there with the regular scholarships. A lot of them from different schools, weren't really getting paid too much. But I feel like it's all love. People getting paid. Just don't do nothing stupid with it.
Yeah.
We should be getting paid. A lot of people out there watching them, so why not? I mean, something that should have been doing. Reggie Bush, Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, all those guys should have been getting paid back in the day. So feel like it's a great thing.
Nah, man, like you said, I still talk about it to this day. Young men and women, whoever plays sports in general, they should get paid to play, not necessarily off name, image, and likeness. What I don't like is the schools dictate who gets paid. So my thought process was NIL, and a lot of kids don't think of it like this. NIL means you can brand yourself. So now you can get paid outside of school.
Yeah,
So if the collective, if they want to pay you, that's fine. Let's say they pay you 50,000. I don't care how much. You should be able yourself now go outside of campus and start creating deals yourself. Rather, of course, it won't be the Gatorades and stuff like that. That does not matter. You should be going into the community and creating deals for yourself. Well, now you have some type of equity, some type of partnership, and that's what I'm trying to educate these young men and women. That's what you guys should be doing, and rather relying on this NIL, because the same thing about professional football. If you're not producing, they can mess up your money. They can
yeah,
stop how much money you making, whatever it is. But if I got money coming in on this side and it ain't got nothing to do with this, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing that you can do to change this money coming in. And I want people to understand their power more so than just, I should be getting paid from the school. The school is a bonus. We should be getting paid on our own likeness, because now it teaches individuals business at a young age. So once, as a student athlete, not everybody goes to the NFL or goes to the WNBA, NBA, all these things. But if I understand business, how to negotiate, how to do contracts on my own, I can go business for myself and still create money. Rather, I'm still trying to figure it out. Does that make sense?
yeah. I hear you.
So that's where I'm leading people to. I'm a financial professional, so I have these conversations to, like, look, I play football. I understand football in college. You are on the biggest stadium as far as publicity, people looking at you all at one time. You got to strike while it's hot, because once you're done with football, unless you go professional, you don't have that exposure no more.
Yeah,
So you gotta be able to keep that bottled up and maneuver correctly for you in your next lane. And that's what I try to
facts,
get guys to understand.
facts.
So bro, just give me two things that you learned about yourself in college. Because one thing I learned about myself going to Middle Tennessee, first of all, I'm a city dude. I don't like to be in the country. I learned that about myself. And then second of all, I can adapt in any environment that I'm in. It didn't
Yeah,
matter who was around me. I can adapt. I can talk with, the president. I can talk with a business owner. At the same time, I can communicate with my teammates efficiently and not miss a beat. What did you learn about yourself?
Me, I know, honestly, I know that I'm hardworking. I mean, I won't give in to none. I mean, I stay resilient. Honestly, I mean, me, just stay down, you know. I mean, I know I'm a good person at the end of the day. Good things come to good people. Um, and I know I really won't back down from any challenge. You know, I've been through some of the hardest things in life just going through college, you know. So
Yeah, yeah. So obviously you still training because, like you said, you still want to play football. Recently, you was in the CFL, and we had a conversation, and I shared some wisdom with you, whatnot. But what is your overall motivation? Like, what keeps you motivated to keep going?
just the love of the game, you know. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this since six. I grew up in a football family. I mean, I've been there in the high ranks before. I mean, and I've been on teams, Texas A&M, Florida, where both head coaches and told me that I'm a Sunday player, and not just because they telling me that I actually didn't showed it to them, and it's honestly just kind of been that for me. Like I said, I could go ball with the big dudes. I mean, I never shied away from competition. I mean, I feel like I'm one of those. So, I mean, I didn't put it on tape too. So that's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
So during this time period, training and whatnot, what is scenario that you see that you want to be in, rather if it's in the CFL, the UFFL, of course we're gonna get to the NFL, but of course there's some routes to go first. How do you see it, or what would you like to play out?
Say it again.
How would you like to play out as far as getting into one of these leagues, whether it's the USFL, I mean the XFL or UFL or the CFL, whichever one?
I'd rather get in the UFL, it's close to home. A lot of dudes got out from the last season, about like couple 60, 70.
Mhm.
So that was the most from any league, just so that I could ball with that competition and give me a little sense of urgency that my pro career can go somewhere with this, But that's honestly what I'm trying to do.
What advice could you share for the next generation of kids who know a little bit about your story, or they seen you throughout the process? What advice could you share?
Uh, just man, have fun with it. And it's a lot different more now in college. It's more than just love of the game. It's a lot of pros and cons that come with it. It's money involved, a lot of big people, investors, but stay down, keep working. Don't give in to nothing, stay true to yourself. Be who you say you're gonna be. And just never give in to the bullshit, if you ask me. Just keep going, stay working, ask questions, don't be shy, show that you love the game of football, and, just go out there, man, make plays.
For sure. Nah, man, Blaze, I appreciate you, bro. Man, we look forward to seeing you on TV again playing, bro, and we gonna connect soon too, man, and train as well.
I got you, you already know, man. Appreciate you bringing me on, my guy.
Problem, my guy, man. Stay up, bro. We talk.
You too.
All right. I want to remind you guys to follow us on social media. Coach Ike's DB Training, um, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, Coach Ike's DB Training. At the same time, for those DBs who are looking to improve their skills, make sure to join our DB discussion group where we discuss what you're dealing with, the issues that you are lacking in, and how do we get better as a community together. All right. We also have our defensive back membership. You guys want to get into there. This is for more people that want to get to the next level, get to that collegiate level. We're taking it to the whole nother level, breaking down film together. We are talking about finances, we're talking about branding, we're talking about recruiting, all these things to take your game to the next level, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Um, Truly saddened. One of my guests, one of my friends, teammates, passed away last week. on Saturday. So rest in peace to my guy, Karel James. You guys can check that out, one of our episodes, inspiring story. So you guys check out Karel James' story. You guys get a chance.